have got about 25 minutes or so this video. What I'm going to upload, so volume 1 of Lloyd's Total Fitness, and I'm going to basically cover a few things to do with training and different levels, and what levels you can obviously reach naturally, you know. Oh, big bumps on the road there. Bloody fen roads, terrible these are. Anyhow, so where were we? Yeah, different levels and what we can realistically achieve in my eyes of some 20 odd years of training, and knowing and believing what, you know, different goals you can achieve, and what's possible really, and where we go with it, what level we go to, and then leave the rest to your imagination of what you think and believe, or what others are doing, and you know, how they got amazing genetics to get to these other levels and achieve what they achieve, or what is it. So let's just start off with basic weight training. You could call it bodybuilding, powerlifting, whatever you want, but weight training. So we're in the gym, we're working chest, and you know, our goal is 10 reps and progress and get heavier. And what's the heaviest weight we can get to? Let's still achieve the 10 reps. So let's say 100 kilos. Yeah, 100 kilos bench press, quite a lot of weight, over a couple of £100, and serious weight. So you need to build up to that. You're not going to be able to lift that straight away if you've never lifted weights before. To get on the bench, control the weight. So I'm on about nice control, not let it just drop down, come down, gently touch the chest, and then back up. That's a full rep. And like you say, so you're going to work up to that, and over a time period, and how long is it doable to get there, to lift 100, let alone do the 10 reps. So in my eyes, with the training and actually doing the weights and achieving the 100 kilos in the 10 reps is doable, but at what weight are you going to be in your size, and training other muscle groups as well, so not just doing the chest. So I have been, you know, doing a full body routine at this point, so I'm picking one exercise out of everything I'm doing. Let's just move so we know where we're going. So yeah, I'm just picking one, and we'll talk about another one a bit later on after this in a little while. So chest with 100 kilos. I've started off week 1, progressively moved up 70 kilos, doing 10 reps comfortably. But I have been training for some time before this, doing push-ups and stuff as well. So we do a 6-week training program. I get to 80 and 75, 80, and I'm doing, you know, 10 reps on 3 or 4 sets. I've had a warm-up set as well, so probably half or 75% of that weight. So I might have started off at 50, 60 kilos for 10 and just had a light warm-up set. And after all my warm-up sets, so my working sets, say there's just 2 working sets, I'm hitting 10 reps on both. So I might have a week off, come back, and pretty much after a warm-up set I'll come straight back in to where I left off after a week off, and I'll be hitting the mark again. So I'll move it up 5 kilos, get to my second set in, and basically, you know, I'm struggling, but I'm just getting the 10. So that's, you know, my second lot of 6 weeks training, basically natural, and coming out and doing 85. I'm probably around about 90 kilos at this mark myself, and I'm, you know, doing the bench press and just thinking, you know, I've got to get to the 100 to start with, let alone the 10 reps. So I've upped the weight and failed a couple of times at 90, and it's, you know, just not, it's not going to happen. So I've just left it and come back to it next week, and I managed to get a couple more reps and still at 95. So as the time progresses on, I've done another lot of 6 weeks, and basically I've moved on from the 6 weeks. So working out that I need another rest and come back this time, and you know, I've still moved up to 80 kilos, 75 to 80, then to 85. That's taken, like, we're looking at the best part of 3 months now. So now I'm looking at another lot of 6, and 6 months later I'm only then getting to 90. And yeah, I've tried 100 a couple of times, but not many reps, 1 or 2 maybe. So I've just dropped back down for sake of no point with that lower reps. But it's good to just try the weight and get on and see if you can actually do it. So I've had a trial run, you know, after about 6 months, still not achieving the 10 reps at 100. So I've gained a few more kilos because I'm still doing full body routine, and I'm close to getting to, you know, 10 months training now. So I've hit 95 for 10, and you know, it's like been a hard time, but I'm feeling a lot stronger. So, you know, in my final, I have a final rest, and before the year's out, I start to work at 100. So no more there. I'm just having a warm-up set. I'm getting 100 on this particular exercise. Still doing all my other exercises as well. So not just training chest. Just an example of one body part, what's realistic. So you can look at the time frame as massive. In the meantime, there's guys half my size come in the gym, and within their first month they managed to do the 100 kilos. And they're not a instructor, they don't know nothing about nutrition like I do, or you know, training cycles, different training methods, you know, applying all these methods and different proteins and stuff, and they've just blown me out of the water. And I'm like, how can this be? You know, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, or I was, and then all of a sudden these guys just started, and they're doing it. They're doing, you know, good 10 reps with 100 kilos, and they might move up another 5-10 more, but they're weighing nowhere near my body weight. They're probably 75 kilos, probably 12 and a half, 13 stone at the most. Some are even 11 stone shifting this weight. So you have to ask yourself, how did that happen so quick? Anyhow, I just stick with it, keep my head in the game and push on. So I start getting to 100. I fail at 6 reps. This is in my final week for the first year. Fail at 6 reps. Getting to the final weeks in my first year, and then I get to sort of round about say week 50, and I've hit 7 where I'm really buzzing. Nearly got the 8th rep, but you know, I've called a spotter in, he's touched the bar, so it's game over, it don't count. But I come back the following week, and this is before my 6-week training cycle before I'm going to have a rest. So at around about week 5 of the last lot 6 for the year, I basically go in, you know, have my warm-up sets again. I've been really building up to this for, and yeah, nearly got 8 the following week, and this time I get the weight on, I get 10. Actually, I get sort of over 10, but then he touches the bar a bit after my 10 reps, so I push on to like 12 of 100. So I'm absolutely more than happy with the weight. I then go up a bit heavier. I can do sort of 1 or 2 with 120, 122, 125, but it's not many reps again, so it's just not really basing it on that. I'm basing it on most amount of weight you can shift, but always 10 reps. So if you can't get 10, they don't count. If you lift 200 kilos and do 9, they don't count. But what do you believe is physically possible off your own back then? So that's how long it took me. Bearing in mind there was other guys come in the gym and start doing the bench press, and like I say, within a month they caught me up that quick and went past me, and they were nowhere near my size or nothing. You know, I was probably like just over 16 stone at the time, and yeah, it's like, and I've been training, you know, week in, week out, month in, month out, and they hadn't put nowhere near as much training in as me. And you know, so I think, you know, naturally you have to start really looking at, there's levels what we can achieve. Again, you know, I could go on to the squats, same principle. I think I worked up to 200 kilo squat, which is double the bench press, but again I was focusing on the 10 reps. That was all happening within the same time, and I think, you know, the limit, that was it. I surpassed and reached the limit, and that was, you know, years of other training and not just focusing purely on the weights, the bodybuilding, if you want to call it bodybuilding. It's not strength work, because I'm up above the 5 rep max for strength. So yeah, it's seeing how much you could do. So yeah, I was at 200. I was weighing 100 kilos as well, so you know, again just over 16 stone, and that's you know, all my marks. What I reached was just, you know, years of training, doing other training, rugby, boxing training, weights, high reps, low reps. But when I really focus on it, that's, you know, again, probably double my body weight I done on the squat, and on the deadlift might have done sort of 10% more than the squat, say maybe 220, which again, guys are, you know, beating that, and I just thought, how can they be in this short space of time? And you know, I was lifting a lot of weight to start with. You know, naturally I was, you know, lifting sort of heavy weights to begin with, and I believed I was, you know, strong lads. But yeah, again, I think the limit was there, and that was it. That was the limit. So I can leave it with you all and see what your thoughts are. But you know, you might say I wasn't training hard enough, but I don't believe that. I could have trained harder. I put everything into it, and I was totally focused, and I used everything. I was so focused on moving the weight from A to B. Nice control though, not throwing the weights around, and that weight had to be controlled. So on the lower end, not letting that just fall, and bring the weight up, so it wasn't you know, just half a rep. So they were good solid reps on them exercises. Again, I moved on to like the leg press. Probably leg press I was doing 350 to 400 average with the rep range of 10, again, which I knew I was getting the thighs parallel, right pulled into the seat, and yeah, leg press felt my strongest exercise for me personally. Again, still built up over a long time frame, and years of other training, and you know, still doing the weights beforehand, but not really focusing on the exercises how I was. You know, years and years and years of training, like I said, something like, you know, 15 years of training, and then really focusing on these body parts, bodybuilding type training, but for the 10 reps with a maximum weight, and that's all I could shift. And you know, I was in my 30s then, so probably at my peak, and that's the most weights I ever lifted, and I just felt like that was so controlled, and you know, every aspect of the training was spot on. Just just started me to think of how can these other guys be beating me? What is the magic potion? I really don't know. Protein powder, which I was taking, creatine, my aminios. I had a good diet, so I was eating very, very well. You know, some days I'll be having steaks, salmon and rice, fish. There was sweet potato in there, vegetables, all home cooked food. Eggs for breakfast, scrambled egg poached. Yeah, I might have fried, couple of bits of bacon as well. Porridge. You know, lunch would be you know, good greens, salads, chicken, another chicken breast. Might have some more rice. So much variety of food, and I did, you know, feel good, but a lot of the training sessions are hard. I felt it hard to recover, and probably only training, doing the weights 3 times a week, which I felt was enough. Couldn't really do much more, just couldn't recover in time. The muscles are too sore, and there's no point training again when your muscles are that sore. They need to be recovered to go again, to break down, to build up. So, as from studying, research and everything I know as an instructor, I was only being able to achieve what my body allowed me to achieve, and believe you me, I was pushing that every inch of the way. And I had guys and training partners and friends who could vouch for me that you can give it much more else. Some sessions doing legs, or you know, big muscle group back or something like that, I would actually physically be sick and sometimes even pass out, just through lack of oxygen and the work effort, basically the fatigue on the body, and just pushing so hard with every set, with every rep. So there you go, that's the benchmark, guys. And you know, I believe that was the mark. I mean, obviously when I started out I was probably 15 stone, and you know, finished sort of just over 16. I was still, I'd been training a lot before that, but not really fully committed, and fully committed for a few years before, but doing boxing and other stuff, so it's gonna take a little bit of your strength and stuff away. But we could talk next time actually about boxing and fitness side of stuff, instead of you know, muscle building, bodybuilding type training, which I believe that is, you know, if you want to gain the most muscle, that's what you've got to do. You've got to hit that. That is the rule. So, you know, if you're getting past them with ease and you're flying past 10 reps, you probably need to put the weight up, but you still need to be working hard to get there. If you can't get there, it's too heavy, but you need to work to get there, if it makes sense. So you got to put the work in to get to that maximum and hit that goal. So you might be failing at 100 for 1 rep, but see how many weeks, how many months it could take you to get to the 10. Yeah. And good luck with it, guys. But let me know your thoughts on how the other people just come in on these tests. I was actually running them some months in the gym, fitness tests and challenges. How did some of these other guys just come in and blow me out of the water? So I don't want to say, but we might all know. So I'll leave it with you, and you know, train and have a good workout and get to your own maximum naturally, and see where you can go naturally, you know, and you will feel better for it, trust me. Because when I walk around, I know when I've hit the mark and the goal. It doesn't matter who I've beat or who I've lost against or who beat me or whatever. It's about number one, and I know I achieved what I could achieve at that level and doing them weights. And believe you me, there's no way, not an ounce left, could I put anything more in, unless sustaining a serious injury. And you know, it's just not going to be worthwhile for work and health and the future really, and not being able to train again. So yeah, that's the 20 minutes are up, so bang on 20 minutes I've been talking for there. I hope you all enjoy this video. Stay tuned to Lloyd's Total Fitness. This is volume 1, and we're just working on bodybuilding, building the most muscle naturally, what can be achieved. And if you've taken steroids, then please don't comment, because your training's not going to count. You're going to obviously move past that level quite easily, or I believe you would be able to. And hopefully I'll speak to you next time. Thanks. Bye guys.